It's considered one of the great natural wonders of the world.
Cleopatra is one of the most powerful women ever to come out of the ancient Mediterranean world. She ruled Egypt for 21 years.
50-year-old mystery was recently solved when a group of intellectuals decoded a message from the Zodiac Killer.
Nestled in the hills of New York's Hudson River Valley lies the town of Sleepy Hollow, a place where a spooky legend meets modern-day life.
What if you are walking along a beach and find a human foot still in its shoe? Why does this keep happening in the Pacific Northwest, and where the lighthouse keepers keep vanishing from their posts without a trace? These are the 50 unsolved mysteries that scientists can't explain. Number 1. Cryptos. First we have cryptos. At the CIA headquarters, there's a sculpture that has stumped some of the smartest people for over 30 years. This sculpture, called Cryptos, was created by artist Jim Sanborn in 1990. It's not just art, it's a puzzle with 4 secret messages carved into it. 3 of these messages have been solved. They talk about hidden truths, give coordinates to the CIA, and mention the discovery of King Tut's tomb. These messages were tricky, but eventually cracked by experts. The 4th message, however, remains a mystery. Despite countless hours of work by top codebreakers, no one has been able to figure it out. People wonder if it contains a big secret or if it's just meant to stay unsolved forever. Even the CIA's own experts haven't cracked it. Jim Sanborn and Edward Scheit, a former CIA code expert who helped design the puzzle, keep the secret to themselves. They watch as more and more people try and fail to solve the final message. Number 2. Amelia Earhart. In 1937, Amelia Earhart, one of the most famous pilots in history, vanished without a trace. Earhart was attempting to fly around the world with her navigator, Fred Noonan. They took off from Papua New Guinea and headed towards Howland Island in the Pacific Ocean, but they never arrived. Despite an extensive search, no sign of Earhart, Noonan, or their plane was found. This disappearance has become one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history. Over the years, many theories have emerged. Some believe they crashed into the ocean and sank. Others think they might have landed on a deserted island and perished there. There are even wild theories that they were captured by the Japanese or lived in secrecy under new identities. Modern technology has added new clues to the mystery. Underwater sonar searches have found possible wreckage sites, but none have been confirmed as Earhart's plane. Recently, a photograph emerged suggesting Earhart and Noonan might have survived and been taken prisoner, but it has not been definitively proven. Number 3. Hessdalen lights. In a valley in Norway, strange lights have been appearing in the night sky for decades. These lights, known as the Hessdalen lights, are a mysterious phenomenon that no one has been able to explain. They flicker in different colors, red, yellow, and white, and move around in unpredictable ways. The Hessdalen lights have been observed since the early 1980s. Scientists and researchers from all over the world have come to study them, using advanced equipment to try and capture and analyze the lights. Despite this, their cause remains a mystery. Some think they might be natural gases igniting, others believe they could be some form of plasma. There are even those who suggest that the lights could be evidence of UFOs. What makes the Hessdalen lights so intriguing is their unpredictability. They don't appear on a regular schedule, making them hard to study. Sometimes they appear several times a week, and other times they might not be seen for months. Number 4. D.B. Cooper. On a stormy night in 1971, a man who called himself D.B. Cooper hijacked a plane. He boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 from Portland to Seattle, wearing a business suit and carrying a black briefcase. Shortly after takeoff, he handed a note to a flight attendant, calmly revealing that he had a bomb. Cooper demanded $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes. The plane landed in Seattle, where his demands were met, and he allowed the passengers to leave. With only the flight crew on board, Cooper instructed the pilot to take off and head toward Mexico City at a low altitude and slow speed. Somewhere over the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest, D.B. Cooper did the unthinkable. He jumped out of the plane with the ransom money strapped to his body. Despite an extensive manhunt and investigation, Cooper was never found. He seemed to have vanished into thin air. The mystery of D.B. Cooper has intrigued and baffled law enforcement, amateur sleuths, and conspiracy theorists for decades. The FBI scoured the area where they believed he might have landed, but no trace of him was ever discovered. In 1980, a boy found a decaying package of $20 bills matching the serial numbers of the ransom money along the banks of the Columbia River, but this only deepened the mystery. Who was D.B. Cooper? Did he survive the jump, or did he perish in the wilderness? Was he an experienced skydiver, or just incredibly lucky? Number 5. Elisa Lam. The case of Elisa Lam is one of the most unsettling mysteries in recent years. In 2013, Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old Canadian student, was traveling alone in California. She checked into the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles, a place with a notorious history. A few weeks later, guests at the hotel began complaining about low water pressure and a strange taste in the water. When maintenance workers investigated the rooftop water tanks, they made a horrifying discovery. Elisa's body was floating inside one of the tanks. Her disappearance had been puzzling, but her death was even more baffling. The most chilling aspect of this case is the security footage from the hotel's elevator on the night of her disappearance. The video shows Elisa behaving erratically. She enters the elevator, presses multiple buttons, peeks out into the hallway as if hiding from someone, and makes unusual hand movements. This footage, which was released by the police, went viral and sparked numerous theories. Some people believe Elisa was experiencing a mental health crisis. She had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression. Others think she might have been under the influence of drugs, though the toxicology report was inconclusive due to the body's decomposition. There are also darker theories involving foul play or supernatural forces, given the Cecil Hotel's grim history, which includes numerous suicides and even murders. How did Elisa end up in the water tank, which was difficult to access and had a heavy lid? Why was she acting so strangely in the elevator? The autopsy ruled her death as accidental drowning, but many questions remain unanswered. Number 6. Amber Room. The Amber Room was once a dazzling chamber of amber, gold, and mirrors, located in the Catherine Palace of Tsarskoye Selo near St. Petersburg, Russia. Often hailed as the 8th wonder of the world, it was originally constructed in the early 18th century and gifted to Peter the Great by the King of Russia. This opulent room, with its amber panels and intricate designs, became a symbol of Russia's wealth and artistic achievement. During World War II, as Nazi forces advanced on Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, the Amber Room was disassembled and transported to Königsberg, now Kaliningrad, Germany. Despite attempts to hide and protect the precious panels, the room vanished towards the end of the war, and its fate has since become one of history's greatest mysteries. Countless theories have emerged about what happened to the Amber Room. Some believe it was destroyed during the bombings of Königsberg, while others suggest it was hidden in a secret bunker, a mine, or a cave somewhere in Eastern Europe. Despite numerous searches and investigations, no trace of the original Amber Room has been found. In 2003, a painstakingly detailed replica was unveiled in the Catherine Palace, restoring some of the splendor lost with the original. Yet, the mystery of the Amber Room's disappearance continues to intrigue historians, treasure hunters, and conspiracy theorists. Was it destroyed, or is it hidden away, waiting to be discovered? The answer remains elusive, adding to the allure and legend of this magnificent lost treasure. Number 7. Poe Toaster. For more than 70 years, a mysterious figure known as the Poe Toaster paid an annual tribute to Edgar Allan Poe, one of America's most famous writers. Every year, in the early hours of January 19th, Poe's birthday, a cloaked figure with a wide-brimmed hat and a silver-tipped cane would sneak into the Westminster Hall and Burying Ground in Baltimore, Maryland. There, the figure would toast Poe's grave with a glass of cognac and leave 3 red roses and the half-full bottle. The ritual began in the 1930s and continued uninterrupted until 2009, creating a ghostly tradition that fascinated Poe fans and curious onlookers alike. Despite many attempts to unmask the Poe Toaster, their identity remained a closely guarded secret, shrouded in the same mystery and darkness that characterize Poe's own literary works. Each year, the Poe Toaster's appearance became an eagerly anticipated event, with a small crowd often gathering to catch a glimpse of the elusive visitor. Some years, the toaster left cryptic notes alongside the roses and cognac, adding to the enigma. These notes sometimes commented on current events or Poe's works, but they never revealed any personal information about the toaster. In 2009, the Poe Toaster made their final visit, leaving a note indicating that it would be the last. Despite efforts to revive the tradition, no new toaster has emerged to carry on the legacy in the same authentic and mysterious manner. Number 8. Tunguska Event. On the morning of June 30th, 1908, a massive explosion rocked the remote Siberian wilderness near the Tunguska River. The blast flattened an estimated 2,000 square kilometers of forest, uprooting trees and incinerating wildlife. The shockwave was so powerful that it knocked people off their feet hundreds of miles away and shattered windows even further. Yet strangely, no crater was found. The Tunguska event, as it came to be known, has puzzled scientists for over a century. The leading theory suggests that a large meteoroid or comet exploded in the atmosphere before hitting the ground, releasing energy equivalent to 15 megatons of TNT, about 1,000 times the power of the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. This aerial explosion would explain the widespread devastation without leaving a crater. Despite this theory, no fragments of a meteoroid or comet have been discovered at the site. Expeditions to the area have found traces of unusual minerals and micrometeoritic particles, lending some support to the impact hypothesis. However, the exact cause of the explosion remains unconfirmed. Alternative theories range from the plausible to the outlandish. Some scientists have suggested a release of natural gas from beneath the Earth's surface, igniting in a massive explosion. Others have speculated about a small black hole or even an alien spacecraft causing the blast. These more exotic theories lack substantial evidence but add to the enduring intrigue of the Tunguska event. Number 9. Winchester House. The Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California is not your typical mansion. It is a sprawling, labyrinthine structure with staircases leading to nowhere, doors that open into walls, and windows overlooking other rooms. This bizarre architectural wonder was built by Sarah Winchester, the widow of William Wirt Winchester, the inventor of the famous Winchester rifle. After her husband's death and the subsequent loss of her infant daughter, Sarah Winchester sought the guidance of a medium. The medium told her that she was haunted by the spirits of those killed by the Winchester rifle and that she needed to move west and build a house for them. She was instructed to never stop building to appease the spirits. Taking this advice to heart, Sarah purchased an 8-room farmhouse in San Jose in 1884 and began an unending construction project that lasted 38 years until her death in 1922. At its peak, the house had 160 rooms, 47 fireplaces, 40 staircases, 10,000 windows, and 2,000 doors. The constant building was said to confuse the spirits, with the never-ending maze serving as a way to keep them at bay. The house's oddities include a staircase that ascends 7 steps and then descends 11, doors that open into empty spaces or sheer drops, and secret passages hidden throughout. Sarah Winchester's fascination with the number 13 is evident everywhere, from windows with 13 panes to walls with 13 sections. After Sarah's death, the construction ceased and the house became a tourist attraction. Visitors and paranormal enthusiasts flocked to the Winchester Mystery House, drawn by its eerie atmosphere and the legend of Sarah Winchester's relentless building. Is the house truly haunted by restless spirits, or was it simply the result of a grieving woman's eccentricity and guilt? The Winchester Mystery House remains a captivating enigma, a physical manifestation of mystery, tragedy, and the supernatural. Number 10. Slime mold. Can you imagine a creature without a brain that can solve puzzles and navigate mazes? It sounds like something out of a science fiction novel, but slime molds are very real and have been baffling scientists for years. These fascinating organisms are neither plant, animal, nor fungi, but something entirely unique in the natural world. Slime molds start their life cycle as single-celled organisms, but when food is scarce, they band together to form a multicellular blob that moves as a single entity. This blob can stretch and contract, searching for nutrients in its environment. What's truly astonishing is the slime mold's ability to solve complex problems. In laboratory experiments, slime molds have been shown to navigate mazes to find the shortest path to food. They can also connect different food sources in the most efficient way possible, mimicking the layout of transport networks in major cities. Despite having no nervous system, slime molds communicate and make decisions collectively, demonstrating a form of intelligence that challenges our understanding of cognition. Scientists have studied slime molds to learn more about decentralized decision-making, which has applications in fields like robotics, network optimization, and even urban planning. The way slime molds process information and adapt to their environment could inspire new technologies and approaches to problem solving. Number 11. Mpemba effect. Boiling water freezes faster than cold water. Sounds impossible, right? Yet this strange phenomenon, known as the Mpemba effect, has left scientists scratching their heads for decades. It all began in the 1960s when a Tanzanian student named Erasto Mpemba noticed that hot ice cream mix froze faster than a cold one. Since then, the Mpemba effect has been the subject of numerous experiments and debates. How can hot water, which must cool down before freezing, turn to ice faster than already cool water? Various theories attempt to explain this paradox, but none have been universally accepted. One idea is that the evaporation of hot water reduces its volume, allowing it to freeze quicker. Another suggests that the convection currents in hot water might lead to faster cooling. There's also the possibility that the dissolved gases in water, which are expelled upon heating, might play a role. Number 12. Uluru Rock. In the heart of Australia, a massive sandstone monolith rises majestically from the desert floor. Known as Uluru or Ayers Rock, this natural wonder is both a geological marvel and a cultural icon. Standing 348 meters high and stretching nearly 10 kilometers in circumference, Uluru is instantly recognizable for its striking red color and its changing hues at different times of the day. Uluru is sacred to the Anangu, the indigenous people of the area, who have lived in this region for thousands of years. According to their legends, Uluru was formed by ancestral beings during the Dreamtime, a period when the land and its inhabitants were created. The rock's many caves, springs, and ancient paintings are imbued with spiritual significance and are part of numerous stories passed down through generations. One of the most mysterious aspects of Uluru is its ability to change color. As the sun moves across the sky, the rock shifts from a deep, rusty red in the morning to a vibrant orange at sunset, and even to a dark purple after rain. This phenomenon is caused by the oxidation of iron in the rock's surface and the play of light and shadow, but it never fails to awe and inspire those who witness it. Adding to the mystique, visitors who take pieces of the rock as souvenirs often report experiencing bad luck. Many have returned the rocks, sometimes with letters detailing the misfortunes they faced after taking them. This has led to the belief that Uluru is protected by a powerful spiritual force. Number 13. Roman dodecahedrons. Scattered across Europe, from England to Hungary, small, hollow, 12-sided objects known as Roman dodecahedrons have been unearthed. These artifacts, made of bronze or stone and dating back to the 2nd or 3rd centuries AD, are intriguing not only for their geometric precision, but also for the mystery surrounding their purpose. Each face of a dodecahedron has a circular hole of varying diameter, and small knobs extend from the corners. Despite their widespread discovery, no one knows for certain what these objects were used for. Theories abound, each more fascinating than the last. Some suggest they were candlesticks, with each hole fitting a different size candle. Others believe they were used for measuring, perhaps as tools for calculating distances or angles in surveying and construction. There's also a hypothesis that they served a more recreational purpose, possibly as dice or game pieces. Another popular theory is that Roman dodecahedrons had a religious or ceremonial use. Some archaeologists think they might have been used in divination, helping priests predict the future or communicate with the gods. The decorative nature of the dodecahedrons, with their ornate design and craftsmanship, supports the idea that they held some special significance beyond the mundane. The mystery deepens when considering the absence of any written records or depictions of these objects in Roman art or literature. If they were commonplace items, why do they not appear in the extensive documentation of Roman life? This lack of evidence suggests that if the dodecahedrons had a purpose, it was either so specialized or so secret that it escaped the historical record. Number 14. Nazca Lines. High in the skies over Peru's desert, a jaw-dropping sight is waiting for you. Massive, intricate designs, spanning over 800 square kilometers, etched into the earth. These are the Nazca Lines, mysterious geoglyphs that can only be fully seen from above. Created by the Nazca people between 500 BCE and 500 CE, these figures include animals, plants, and geometric shapes, some stretching over 1,200 feet long. How could an ancient civilization create something so grand without modern tools, and why? One popular theory is that the Nazca Lines were part of religious ceremonies, a way to communicate with gods to bring rain to their dry land. Others believe they were astronomical markers, aligning with stars and planets to track important dates. But the most thrilling speculation? Some say these lines were created with the help of extraterrestrial beings, serving as runways or messages for visitors from other worlds. Number 15. Flight MH370. How does a modern aircraft simply vanish without a trace? On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing. Hours later, it disappeared from radar screens, and despite one of the largest search efforts in aviation history, no one knows for sure what happened. The Boeing 777, carrying 239 passengers and crew, seemed to vanish into thin air. Initial search efforts focused on the South China Sea, but later data suggested the plane veered off course and flew for hours over the Indian Ocean. Satellite pings hinted at its last known position, but searches of the ocean floor turned up nothing. Theories about the plane's disappearance are as varied as they are chilling. Some suggest catastrophic mechanical failure or a sudden onboard fire. Others propose more sinister scenarios: hijacking, pilot sabotage, or even state-sponsored actions. The lack of concrete evidence has fueled countless speculations. In 2015 and 2016, pieces of debris confirmed to be from MH370 washed ashore on islands in the Indian Ocean, yet the main wreckage remains elusive. This debris raised more questions than answers. Why did the plane go so far off its planned route? What happened during those final hours? Number 16. Miniature coffins. In 1836, a chilling discovery was made on a Scottish hillside. 17 tiny coffins, each containing a small, carved wooden figure, were found hidden in a cave on Arthur's Seat in Edinburgh. These miniature coffins, each about 4 inches long, are an eerie mystery that has baffled historians and archaeologists for nearly 2 centuries. The coffins were arranged in 3 tiers, 2 rows of 8 and a single coffin on top. The figures inside were dressed in hand-stitched clothes and had carefully painted faces. Who made these coffins, and why? No one knows for sure, but several theories have emerged over the years. One theory suggests the coffins were meant to represent a memorial or tribute, possibly for sailors lost at sea or soldiers who had died in battle. Another, more sinister idea links the coffins to the infamous Burke and Hare murders. Burke and Hare were notorious body snatchers who killed at least 16 people in Edinburgh and sold their bodies to a medical school for dissection. Some believe the coffins were a form of symbolic justice, representing the victims of Burke and Hare's gruesome crimes. Yet another theory posits that the coffins were part of a witchcraft ritual or used in some form of sympathetic magic. The precise craftsmanship and hidden location suggest they held significant meaning for whoever created them. Number 17. Stonehenge. How did ancient people, without modern technology, construct one of the world's most iconic structures? Stonehenge, the prehistoric monument located in Wiltshire, England, has puzzled and fascinated historians, archaeologists, and visitors for centuries. Stonehenge consists of a ring of standing stones, each around 13 feet high, 7 feet wide, and weighing approximately 25 tons. These massive stones were transported from quarries over 150 miles away, a feat that seems almost impossible without the machinery we have today. The structure, built between 3000 BC and 2000 BC, aligns perfectly with the movements of the sun, suggesting it may have been used as an ancient calendar or for astronomical observations. The purpose of Stonehenge remains a subject of debate. Some believe it was a sacred site for religious ceremonies, possibly a place of healing or a burial ground for elite individuals. The precise alignment with the solstices indicates it could have been a temple to the sun, where ancient people gathered to mark the longest and shortest days of the year. Adding to the mystery are the blue stones, smaller stones that form an inner ring. These stones are believed to have come from the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 150 miles away. The reason for their inclusion and the methods used to transport them remain unknown. Recent discoveries, including nearby burial mounds and other prehistoric structures, suggest Stonehenge was part of a larger, complex landscape of ritual and ceremonial sites. Despite extensive research and numerous theories, the true purpose of Stonehenge remains elusive. Number 18. Overtown Bridge. Why have dozens of dogs inexplicably leapt to their deaths from a single bridge in Scotland? This eerie phenomenon has earned Overtown Bridge, located near Dumbarton, the chilling nickname of the Dog Suicide Bridge. Since the 1950s, numerous dogs have reportedly jumped from the same spot on this bridge, falling 50 feet to the rocks below. The bridge's eerie reputation has drawn widespread attention, with over 600 dogs making the leap and many not surviving the fall. What could possibly be driving these dogs to such a fate? One of the most common theories points to the strong scent of mink or other small animals living in the underbrush below the bridge. This scent might lure the dogs to leap, driven by their hunting instincts. However, this explanation doesn't satisfy everyone, as not all dogs seem to be affected, and the phenomenon persists even when no mink are present. Others suggest that the bridge's architecture and the way sound echoes in the area might disorient dogs, making them jump. Some locals believe there is a supernatural explanation, pointing to the bridge's proximity to Overtown House, which has its own share of ghost stories and eerie happenings. Adding to the mystery, human tragedies have also occurred at Overtown Bridge. In 1994, a man threw his infant son from the bridge, claiming he believed the child was the Antichrist. This tragic event further cemented the bridge's reputation as a place of dark energy and inexplicable events. Number 19. Taos Hum. In the small town of Taos, New Mexico, a strange, low-frequency hum has been plaguing residents since the early 1990s. Known as the Taos Hum, this persistent, low-pitched noise can only be heard by some people, and its source remains a complete mystery. Described as a droning or buzzing sound, the Taos hum is heard by about 2% of the town's population. It's often reported as a faint diesel engine-like noise that is especially noticeable at night and indoors, causing headaches, sleep disturbances, and even nausea for those who hear it. Extensive investigations have been conducted to find the source of the hum. Researchers from universities, government agencies, and even independent experts have explored possible explanations, including industrial equipment, electrical transformers, and seismic activity. Yet, no definitive source has been identified. One theory is that the hum is a type of auditory phenomenon known as spontaneous otoacoustic emissions, where the inner ear generates its own noise. Another theory suggests it could be related to low-frequency radio waves or electromagnetic radiation. Despite these theories, the exact cause of the hum remains elusive. Adding to the mystery, similar hums have been reported in various locations around the world, including Bristol in the UK, Bondi in Australia, and even in parts of Canada. Each of these hums has its unique characteristics, but they all share the common trait of being perceptible to only a small percentage of the population. Number 20. Fairy circles. In the grasslands of Namibia, mysterious circular patches of bare soil, known as fairy circles, dot the landscape, creating a striking and puzzling pattern. These rings, ranging from a few feet to over 20 meters in diameter, have baffled scientists and sparked local legends for decades. Fairy circles are surrounded by rings of lush grass, standing in stark contrast to the barren center. The indigenous Himba people believe these circles are footprints left by the gods or are caused by the breath of a subterranean dragon. While these explanations are fascinating, scientists have sought more empirical answers. One prominent theory suggests that termites are responsible for creating these circles. According to this idea, termites consume the roots of vegetation, causing the plants to die and creating a patch of bare soil. The surrounding ring of grass benefits from the water that would have otherwise been used by the plants in the center, leading to its lush growth. However, while termites are found in some circles, they are not present in all, leaving this theory incomplete. Another hypothesis proposes that the circles result from self-organizing plants competing for limited water resources. In this view, plants naturally space themselves out to maximize access to water, creating the distinctive circular pattern. Computer models support this theory, showing how such patterns can emerge in arid environments. Number 21. Krishna's Butterball. In the ancient town of Mahabalipuram in southern India, a massive boulder precariously balances on a slope, defying gravity and captivating onlookers for centuries. This astonishing rock, known as Krishna's Butterball, weighs around 250 tons and stands over 20 feet high, yet it rests on a base less than 4 feet wide. The rock's name comes from Hindu mythology, where it is said to resemble a ball of butter stolen and dropped by the young god Krishna. Despite this whimsical legend, the true origin and stability of Krishna's Butterball remain shrouded in mystery. What makes this boulder particularly intriguing is its resistance to movement. In 1908, the governor of Madras attempted to move the rock, fearing it might roll down and cause damage. 7 elephants were employed to pull it down the slope, but despite their efforts, the butterball didn't budge an inch. This has led to widespread speculation about what holds the rock in place. Geologists suggest that Krishna's Butterball might be a natural formation caused by the gradual erosion of the surrounding softer rock, leaving this harder boulder balanced. Yet, this does not fully explain why it hasn't rolled down the slope over centuries of weathering and seismic activity. Another theory proposes that the rock's center of gravity is so low and well distributed that it remains stable despite its precarious appearance. However, even this scientific explanation does little to diminish the wonder and awe it inspires. Number 22. Sleepy Hollow. In the remote village of Kalachi, Kazakhstan, a bizarre and unsettling phenomenon has plagued residents since 2013. People of all ages have been inexplicably falling into deep, unshakable sleep, sometimes for days at a time. This eerie affliction, dubbed Sleepy Hollow, has baffled doctors and scientists alike who struggle to find an explanation for the mysterious condition. The first cases appeared suddenly, with villagers collapsing into sleep during their daily activities. Those affected couldn't be roused and, upon awakening, often experienced dizziness, memory loss, and fatigue. The incidents became so frequent that nearly a quarter of the village's population had experienced the mysterious slumber at least once. Initial investigations focused on environmental factors. The village is located near an abandoned Soviet-era uranium mine, leading to speculation that radiation or toxic substances could be responsible. However, radiation levels were found to be within normal limits. Another theory considered carbon monoxide poisoning from the old mines, which might seep into the village and cause the symptoms. This seemed plausible as the mines had been poorly sealed. Tests confirmed elevated levels of carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons, lending some support to this theory. Number 23. Devil's Kettle. In northern Minnesota, deep within Judge C.R. Magny State Park, lies one of nature's most perplexing mysteries, the Devil's Kettle. This unique waterfall on the Brule River splits into two streams when it reaches a rock outcropping. One stream continues down the river, while the other plunges into a deep, dark hole and seemingly disappears. What makes the Devil's Kettle so mysterious is that no one knows where the water that flows into the hole goes. Researchers have tried various methods to trace its path, including dye tests, ping pong balls, and even GPS trackers, but all attempts have yielded no results. The items simply vanish, swallowed by the earth without a trace. Theories abound about the fate of the missing water. Some suggest there might be an underground river or a network of caves that carry the water to a different location. Others believe it might re-emerge somewhere else along the river, but no exit point has ever been found. Geologists have speculated that the Devil's Kettle could be an example of a pothole or glacial kettle, a formation left behind by retreating glaciers. However, this does not explain the complete disappearance of the water and objects dropped into the hole. Number 24. Money Pit. On a small island off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, lies a mysterious and treacherous hole known as the Money Pit. For over 2 centuries, treasure hunters have been drawn to Oak Island, driven by tales of buried riches and enigmatic artifacts hidden deep underground. The story begins in 1795 when a teenager named Daniel McGinnis discovered a circular depression in the ground and a nearby tree with a pulley system. Curious, he and his friends began digging and soon encountered a layer of flagstones. As they dug deeper, they found wooden platforms at regular intervals, suggesting that something valuable lay beneath. Over the years, numerous expeditions have tried to excavate the money pit, but each attempt has been thwarted by a series of ingenious booby traps and flooding tunnels. As diggers reached deeper levels, seawater would rush in, filling the shaft and making further progress impossible. Some believe these traps were set to protect the treasure, while others think they were meant to keep its true purpose a secret. Theories about what lies at the bottom of the money pit range from pirate treasure and the Holy Grail to Shakespearean manuscripts and the lost jewels of Marie Antoinette. In 1804, the Onslow Company discovered a stone inscribed with cryptic symbols, which some interpreted to mean 40 feet below, £2 million lie buried. However, the stone has since disappeared, adding to the mystery. 25. Voynich manuscript. What a book looks like, filled with strange, beautiful illustrations and written in a language no one can understand. This is the Voynich manuscript, a mysterious document that has baffled cryptographers, linguists, and historians for over a century. Discovered in 1912 by Wilfrid Voynich, a rare book dealer, this manuscript dates back to the early 15th century and contains 240 pages of text and drawings. The Voynich manuscript's content is divided into sections, including herbal, astronomical, biological, cosmological, and pharmaceutical illustrations. The drawings depict fantastical plants, astrological charts, tiny naked women in baths connected by intricate plumbing and complex geometric designs. However, the most perplexing feature is the text, written in an unknown script that defies all attempts at deciphering. Cryptographers have analyzed the manuscript script using various methods, including frequency analysis and pattern recognition, but no one has been able to crack the code. Some researchers suggest it could be an elaborate hoax, while others believe it to be a sophisticated cipher or a forgotten language. The manuscript's origins are equally mysterious. Radiocarbon dating places its creation in the early 1400s, but its author remains unknown. Some speculate that it might have been created by a medieval alchemist, a scholar, or even an eccentric artist. Theories also link it to figures like Roger Bacon, a 13th century English friar and philosopher, and John Dee, a 16th century mathematician and astrologer. Number 26. Alzheimer's disease. Ever heard of a disease that slowly erases your memories, steals your ability to think, and robs you of your identity? This is the terrifying reality of Alzheimer's disease, a progressive brain disorder that affects millions of people worldwide. Despite decades of research, the exact cause of Alzheimer's remains elusive, making it one of the most puzzling and heartbreaking medical mysteries. Alzheimer's disease is characterized by the buildup of amyloid plaques and tau tangles in the brain, which interfere with neural communication and cause brain cells to die. But why these abnormal structures form in the first place is still not fully understood. Some scientists believe genetics play a role, while others point to lifestyle and environmental factors. There is also a growing body of evidence suggesting that a combination of these elements might be responsible. The symptoms of Alzheimer's start subtly, often beginning with mild memory loss and confusion. Over time, these symptoms worsen, leading to severe cognitive decline, changes in personality, and an inability to carry out daily activities. The progression of the disease varies from person to person, but it inevitably leads to a loss of independence and, ultimately, death. Current treatments for Alzheimer's can temporarily alleviate symptoms but do not stop or slow the disease's progression. Researchers are exploring various avenues, including targeting amyloid plaques and tau tangles, reducing inflammation in the brain, and even looking into the potential role of gut bacteria. Despite these efforts, a cure remains out of reach. Number 27. Stone spheres of Costa Rica. In the dense jungles of Costa Rica, perfectly round stone spheres lay scattered, their origin and purpose shrouded in mystery. These enigmatic objects, ranging from a few centimeters to over 2 meters in diameter, were first discovered in the 1930s by workers clearing the jungle for a banana plantation. Since then, over 300 of these stone spheres have been found, captivating archaeologists and historians alike. The stone spheres, known as Las Bolas, are believed to have been created by the Diquis culture, which flourished from 700 to 1530 AD. Despite their ancient origins, the method used to craft these nearly perfect spheres remains unknown. The stones are made from granodiorite, a hard volcanic rock, and achieving such precision without modern tools is a feat that baffles experts. Theories about their purpose are as varied as their sizes. Some believe the spheres were used for astronomical purposes, aligning with celestial bodies or marking significant dates. Others suggest they were status symbols, showcasing the power and skill of the ruling elite. There is also speculation that the spheres were used as part of a larger navigational system, guiding people across the landscape. Adding to the mystery is the fact that many spheres have been moved from their original locations, making it difficult to determine their initial arrangement and purpose. Some were taken as souvenirs or used as lawn ornaments, disrupting potential clues that could unravel their secrets. Local legends add a layer of intrigue to the story of the stone spheres. Some tales claim that the spheres were created by gods or giants, while others suggest they contain hidden treasures or possess magical properties. Number 28. Marfa lights. In a desert of West Texas, mysterious lights have been baffling locals for over a century. These glowing orbs, known as the Marfa lights, appear just above the horizon on clear nights, moving in ways that defy explanation. First spotted by cowboys in the late 1800s, these lights come in colors like white, yellow, orange, and sometimes red or green. They flicker, merge, split apart, hover, and then dart away quickly. Despite numerous attempts to approach them, they always seem to vanish when someone gets close. Scientists have tried to explain the Marfa lights with various theories. Some say they are caused by atmospheric phenomena like light bending or mirages due to temperature differences. Others think they might be reflections from car headlights or campfires, even though the lights were seen long before cars were around. Another idea is that the lights are geological. They might be caused by tectonic stress in the Earth's crust, which creates electrical charges that produce glowing orbs. Yet despite all these theories, no one knows for sure what causes the Marfa lights. Every year people flock to Marfa, hoping to catch a glimpse of these mysterious lights. There's even a festival dedicated to them. The Marfa lights remain an unsolved mystery, captivating everyone who sees them and keeping the legend alive. Why do these lights appear? What makes them move so strangely? The answers are still out there, waiting to be discovered in the quiet desert night. Number 29. Oakville Blobs. In 1994, the small town of Oakville, Washington, experienced a bizarre and unsettling phenomenon that left residents scratching their heads. During a heavy rainstorm, strange, gelatinous blobs fell from the sky, covering the ground and sparking a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. The translucent blobs, described as the size of rice grains, rained down over a period of 3 weeks. Shortly after the blobs appeared, many residents began to fall ill, experiencing flu-like symptoms, dizziness, and difficulty breathing. Pets were also affected, with some even dying shortly after contact with the mysterious substance. Health officials and scientists were baffled. Samples of the blobs were collected and analyzed by laboratories, including the Washington State Department of Health. Initial tests suggested the blobs contained human white blood cells, but no one could explain how or why they were falling from the sky. Theories about the Oakville blobs range from the plausible to the bizarre. Some speculated that the blobs were the result of military experiments gone wrong, possibly involving jellyfish-like material dispersed during weapons testing. Others suggested that the blobs were waste from an airplane, though FAA regulations make this unlikely. A more down-to-earth theory posits that the blobs were the result of a nearby bombing run over the ocean, which could have churned up jellyfish remains into the atmosphere, only to rain down on Oakville. However, this theory, like the others, lacks conclusive evidence. Number 30. Rongorongo. Discovered in the 19th century, Rongorongo consists of intricate glyphs carved into wooden tablets, representing one of the few written languages developed in isolation in human history. The glyphs of Rongorongo depict a variety of shapes, including human figures, animals, plants, and abstract symbols. Despite their intricate beauty, no one has been able to decipher their meaning. The island's oral traditions and the devastating effects of European contact, including disease and slavery, led to the loss of the knowledge needed to interpret the script. Researchers have suggested various theories about the purpose and content of Rongorongo. Some believe it could be a form of proto-writing used for religious or ceremonial purposes, while others speculate it might record genealogies, historical events, or agricultural information. Comparisons have been made to other ancient scripts, but no definitive link has been established. Number 31. Antikythera mechanism. Antikythera mechanism is an ancient Greek machine created over 2,000 years ago, capable of intricate astronomical calculations. At first glance, it seemed like just a hunk of corroded metal, but as researchers cleaned and studied it, they realized they had something extraordinary. The mechanism contained a complex system of gears, more intricate than anything else known from the ancient world. It was essentially the world's first analog computer. The device is believed to have been created around 100 BCE and was used to predict astronomical events and eclipses, track the cycles of the moon and sun, and even possibly the positions of planets. It was operated by turning a hand crank, which in turn moved the gears to display the positions of celestial bodies on dials. What makes the Antikythera mechanism truly mind-blowing is its complexity. The level of engineering skill required to create such a device was thought to be far beyond the capabilities of ancient Greek technology. This has led to endless debates and theories about the origins of the device. Some even speculate that it's evidence of lost advanced knowledge or technologies. X-ray imaging and 3D modeling have revealed the intricate details of the gears and inscriptions, but much about the mechanism remains a mystery. How did the ancient Greeks achieve such technological sophistication? What other wonders might they have created that we have yet to discover? Number 32. Georgia Guidestones. Next is the Georgia Guidestones, often called America's Stonehenge. Erected in 1980, these massive granite slabs have sparked intrigue, speculation, and conspiracy theories for decades. The story begins in June 1979, when a well-dressed man with piercing eyes walked into the Elberton Granite Finishing Company. He introduced himself as R.C. Christian, a pseudonym, and presented detailed plans for a complex monument. Christian claimed to represent a small group of loyal Americans who had been planning this project for 20 years. He insisted on remaining anonymous and demanded that the people involved in the project also maintain secrecy. Despite the unusual request, the granite company agreed to the commission, fascinated and perhaps a little unsettled by Christian's mysterious demeanor. Over the next year, the monument took shape. 4 towering slabs of granite, each over 16 feet tall, arranged around a central pillar and topped by a capstone. When it was finally unveiled, the true purpose of the Georgia Guidestones became clear, yet even more enigmatic. Etched into the stone in 8 different languages, English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian, were 10 guiding principles for humanity. These commandments spoke of maintaining population control, guiding reproduction, and uniting humanity under a new common language. They also advocated for fair laws, tempered reason, and harmony with nature. For some, these messages were seen as wise and forward-thinking, a roadmap for a sustainable future. For others, they were sinister and ominous, hinting at a shadowy agenda for global control. The most controversial commandment called for maintaining humanity under 500 million people, which would require a drastic reduction of the current global population. This particular point has fueled numerous conspiracy theories about the monument's true intent. Adding to the mystique, the Guidestones were designed with precise astronomical alignments. The central pillar has a hole through which the North Star is always visible, symbolizing constancy and guidance. A slot carved into the structure aligns with the sun's position during solstices and equinoxes, linking the monument to the cycles of the cosmos. Who was R.C. Christian? What group did he represent? And what was their ultimate goal in erecting this granite enigma in rural Georgia? As the years pass, these questions remain unanswered, leaving the Guidestones to continue casting their shadow of intrigue over all who encounter them. R.C. Christian disappeared as mysteriously as he had arrived, leaving behind a structure that has become both a tourist attraction and a focal point for debate. Over the years, the Guidestones have been vandalized and defaced by those who fear its message, while others come to ponder its cryptic commandments and admire its architectural precision. Number 33. Zodiac Ciphers. In the late 1960s, a series of gruesome murders shook Northern California. The perpetrator, known as the Zodiac Killer, claimed responsibility for at least 5 killings, though he suggested there were many more. Yet it wasn't just the brutal nature of the crimes that captured the public's imagination, it was the cryptic ciphers and taunting letters he sent to newspapers, daring the world to uncover his identity. The Zodiac Killer's first cipher, sent in 3 parts to 3 different newspapers in 1969, was a puzzle composed of 408 characters. He demanded that the papers publish the ciphers on their front pages or he would kill again. The newspapers complied and the race to crack the code began. A school teacher and his wife, Donald and Betty Harden, managed to solve the cipher, revealing a chilling message about the Zodiac's pleasure in killing. But this was only the beginning. The Zodiac sent 4 ciphers in total, with the remaining 3 continuing to baffle cryptographers, law enforcement, and amateur sleuths for decades. The most infamous of these is the 340-character cipher, which was mailed to the San Francisco Chronicle. Despite numerous attempts, it remained unsolved for over 50 years. In December 2020, a team of 3 amateur codebreakers, David Orenchak, Jarl van Eyck, and Sam Blake, finally cracked the 340-character cipher. The decrypted message revealed the Zodiac's twisted sense of humor and defiance, though it offered no clues to his identity. "I hope you are having lots of fun trying to catch me," it read. "I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner." Despite this breakthrough, 2 of the Zodiac ciphers remain unsolved, including the mysterious Z13 cipher, which supposedly contains the killer's name. Number 34. Salish Sea Feet. Trust me, you are not ready for this. In the peaceful waters of the Salish Sea, which borders British Columbia and Washington State, a strange and creepy mystery has been unfolding. Since 2007, more than 20 human feet still inside their sneakers have washed up on the shores. The mystery began in August 2007 when someone found a human foot in a sneaker on a beach in British Columbia. Soon after, another foot was found, then another, each one creating more fear and speculation. Why were only feet washing ashore? And where were the rest of the bodies? Scientists and investigators have tried to explain this bizarre phenomenon. The most likely theory is that these feet belong to people who drowned. As bodies decompose in water, the feet can naturally detach. Modern sneakers, designed to be lightweight and buoyant, float easily and can carry the feet long distances. Even with this explanation, many questions remain. Who were these people? What led to their deaths? Some of the feet have been identified through DNA and matched with missing persons, but others remain a mystery. The repeated appearance of these feet has also led some to speculate about more sinister causes, such as foul play or even a serial killer. Number 35. Olmec heads. These massive stone sculptures, carved by the Olmec civilization more than 3,000 years ago, have puzzled archaeologists and historians since their discovery. The Olmec heads are carved from large basalt boulders, some weighing up to 50 tons and standing nearly 10 feet tall. Each head is distinct, featuring unique facial features and expressions. What's even more remarkable is that the nearest source of basalt is located about 50 miles away from where the heads were found. This raises the question, how did the Olmecs transport these enormous stones such great distances without the wheel or pack animals? The exact purpose of these heads remains a mystery. Some believe they represent Olmec rulers or deities, given their regal and imposing appearances. The intricate detail in the carvings, from the elaborate headdresses to the distinct facial features, suggests that they were meant to honor important figures. Adding to the mystery, the Olmec civilization itself is shrouded in enigma. Known as the mother culture of Mesoamerica, the Olmecs influenced later civilizations like the Maya and Aztecs. Yet, much about their society, including their origins, governance, and eventual decline, remains unknown. The heads, along with other Olmec artifacts, provide tantalizing clues but no definitive answers. The heads were first discovered in the 19th century, and since then, 17 have been found at various sites, including San Lorenzo and La Venta. Each discovery has sparked renewed interest and debate among scholars who continue to study the heads for insights into Olmec culture and technology. Number 36. Bella in the Wych Elm. Get ready for the most enduring and chilling mysteries of the 20th century in Hagley Wood, near Birmingham, England. 4 young boys, playing in the woods, stumbled upon a hollow wych elm tree in 1943. Inside the tree, they found a human skull with a tuft of hair still attached. Terrified, they reported their find to the authorities, leading to a gruesome revelation: the remains of a woman eerily preserved within the tree. The woman's skeleton, missing one hand, was estimated to have been placed in the tree about 18 months prior to its discovery. Forensic examination revealed she was around 35 years old at the time of her death, and the cause appeared to be suffocation. She had a piece of taffeta stuffed into her mouth, suggesting she might have been murdered. As investigators searched for clues about her identity, a sinister question emerged: who was she, and how did she end up in the tree? The press quickly dubbed her Bella, after graffiti started appearing around Birmingham reading, "Who put Bella down the wych elm?" This cryptic message added a layer of intrigue to an already macabre case. Several theories have been proposed over the years. One of the most compelling involves espionage. During World War II, the area around Birmingham was rife with military activity. Some speculate that Bella might have been a German spy, killed by her own or by British intelligence. Another theory suggests that she was involved in witchcraft or an occult ritual, given the unusual placement of her body and the missing hand, which was found buried nearby. Number 37. The mysterious nature of Venus. Venus, the second planet from the Sun, shines brightly in our night sky, often called Earth's twin due to its similar size and composition. Yet, this neighboring planet harbors secrets and mysteries that make it one of the most enigmatic bodies in our solar system. Covered in thick clouds of sulfuric acid, Venus presents a foreboding face to space explorers. Its atmosphere is composed predominantly of carbon dioxide, with surface pressures 90 times greater than those on Earth. Temperatures soar to a scorching 900 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt lead. These extreme conditions make Venus an incredibly hostile environment, raising the question, why is Venus so different from Earth despite their similarities? One of the biggest mysteries of Venus is its runaway greenhouse effect. While Earth and Venus likely started with similar conditions, something caused Venus to develop an extreme greenhouse effect, trapping heat and creating its hellish environment. Scientists speculate that volcanic activity could have released massive amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, but definitive evidence remains elusive. Adding to the intrigue is Venus's retrograde rotation. Unlike most planets in our solar system, Venus rotates backward on its axis, meaning the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. The reasons for this peculiar rotation are still debated. Some theories suggest a colossal collision with another celestial body early in Venus's history could have altered its rotation. the planet's surface is another puzzle. Radar mapping by spacecraft like NASA's Magellan has revealed vast plains, highland regions, and thousands of volcanoes. However, there are few impact craters, indicating that Venus's surface is relatively young. This suggests a geological mystery. What processes have resurfaced Venus, erasing older craters and features? In recent years, Venus has teased us with the possibility of life. In 2020, scientists announced the detection of phosphine gas in the planet's clouds, a potential biosignature. On Earth, phosphine is produced by microbial life, raising the tantalizing question, could microbial life exist in the temperate, acidic clouds of Venus? Follow-up studies have been inconclusive and the debate continues. The exploration of Venus is fraught with challenges due to its harsh conditions. Yet, missions like NASA's planned Veritas and the European Space Agency's Envision aim to uncover more about this mysterious planet. Number 38. Wow signal. You will say, wow on this one. 1.665838. Detected on August 15, 1977, by Dr. Jerry Eman at Ohio State University's Big Ear Radio Telescope, this inexplicable burst of radio waves has puzzled and fascinated astronomers for decades. The signal was named WOW after Eman scribbled the exclamation in red ink next to the data printout, reflecting his astonishment at the unusual findings. The signal was extraordinarily strong, lasting for 72 seconds, and came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, near the Chi Sagittarii star group. What makes the WOW signal so intriguing is its narrow frequency, around 1420 MHz, which is the hydrogen line frequency. This frequency is significant because hydrogen is the most common element in the universe, and many scientists believe it would be a logical choice for extraterrestrial civilizations trying to communicate. The signal was also highly focused, unlike natural sources, which tend to be broader and more diffuse. Despite numerous follow-up searches, the WOW signal has never been detected again. Its fleeting nature adds to its mystery, raising the question, was it a message from an alien civilization or just a one-time cosmic fluke? Various theories have been proposed to explain the WOW signal. Some suggest it could have been a reflection of Earth-based signals from space debris or a passing comet, although these explanations have not been definitively proven. The possibility of a technical glitch or human interference has also been considered, but no conclusive evidence supports these theories either. The WOW signal remains the best candidate for a potential extraterrestrial communication, captivating those who yearn for contact with intelligent life beyond our planet. It serves as a tantalizing reminder of how much we still don't know about the universe and the possibility of other civilizations out there waiting to be discovered. Today, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, CT, continues with more advanced technology and broader searches of the sky. While we have yet to find another signal like the WOW signal, its discovery fuels our curiosity and drives us to keep listening to the cosmos, hoping for another whisper from the stars. Number 39. The mystery of sleep. Every night we surrender to a state that takes up a third of our lives, yet remains one of the most puzzling aspects of human existence: sleep. Despite centuries of study, scientists are still uncovering the many secrets of why we sleep and what happens when we do. Sleep is essential for our health and well-being, yet its precise functions are still not completely understood. What we do know is that sleep is a complex process involving various stages, including light sleep, deep sleep, and REM, rapid eye movement, sleep. Each stage plays a crucial role in maintaining our physical and mental health. One of the most mysterious aspects of sleep is dreaming, which predominantly occurs during REM sleep. Dreams can be vivid and surreal, blending elements of our daily lives with bizarre and fantastical scenarios. But why do we dream? Theories abound. Some suggest that dreaming helps process emotions and memories, while others propose it serves as a form of problem solving or even a way for the brain to simulate potential threats. The benefits of sleep are vast. It helps consolidate memories, repairs tissues, regulates hormones, and supports cognitive function. Lack of sleep, on the other hand, can lead to a host of problems, including impaired judgment, weakened immune response, and increased risk of chronic conditions like heart disease and diabetes. Despite these known benefits, the exact mechanisms by which sleep accomplishes these tasks remain a topic of intense research. Scientists are exploring the role of neurotransmitters, brainwaves, and even the glymphatic system, a recently discovered waste clearance system in the brain that operates during sleep. Sleep disorders add another layer of mystery. Conditions like insomnia, sleep apnea, narcolepsy, and parasomnias, such as sleepwalking, affect millions of people worldwide, often with debilitating effects. Understanding and treating these disorders is a major focus of sleep research, but many questions remain unanswered. One intriguing area of study is the variation in sleep needs among individuals. While most adults need about 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, some people thrive on much less. These short sleepers seem to function well with only 4 to 6 hours of sleep, leading researchers to investigate genetic factors that might explain this anomaly. Number 40. Pumapunku. High in the Andes Mountains of Bolivia, at an elevation of over 12,000 feet, is the ancient site of Pumapunku. This place is part of the larger Tiwanaku complex and is one of the most mysterious archaeological sites in the world. The ruins here are unlike anything else, raising questions that have puzzled scientists for years. The site is famous for its massive stone blocks, some weighing up to 130 tons. These stones are not only enormous, but are also carved with incredible precision. They fit together so perfectly that even a razor blade cannot slip between them. What's even more astonishing is that these stones are made of granite and diorite, some of the hardest materials known. How did the ancient builders achieve such precision without modern tools? Archaeologists date Pumapunku to around 536 AD, crediting it to the Tiwanaku civilization. However, some believe it could be much older. The level of craftsmanship suggests knowledge and skills that seem advanced even by today's standards. Theories abound, including those that suggest lost ancient technologies or even extraterrestrial help. Transporting the massive stones to Pumapunku is another puzzle. The nearest quarry is about 50 miles away. Without the wheel or modern machinery, how did the builders move these huge blocks? Some suggest they used a combination of sledges, rollers, and sheer manpower, but no one knows for sure. Number 41. Belmez Faces. It all began in August 1971 in the small Spanish village of Belmez de la Moralida, when Maria Gomez Camara noticed a strange human-like stain forming on her kitchen floor. Over the next few days, the stain took on the clear shape of a human face. The face on the floor was just the beginning. Soon, other faces began to appear, each one distinct in its expression and features. Some looked sad, others angry or frightened. The phenomenon attracted widespread attention, and soon researchers, journalists, and curious visitors flocked to the house to see the faces for themselves. The faces, known as the Belmez faces, seemed to come and go, changing positions and expressions. Even when the floor was dug up and replaced with new cement, the faces reappeared. This baffling occurrence led to numerous investigations. Paranormal researchers suggested that the faces were a form of psychic photography, created by Maria's own mental projections or by spirits trying to communicate. Some locals believed that the house was built over an old cemetery, and the faces were the restless spirits of those buried beneath. Skeptics, however, argued that the faces were a hoax, possibly created using a mixture of chemicals or paint. Despite various tests and analyses, no definitive explanation was found. Some experts who examined the site concluded that the faces were not painted or stained intentionally, adding to the mystery. Over the years, the Belmez faces continued to appear, and the house became a subject of fascination and debate. Maria Gomez Camara lived in the house until her death in 2004, steadfastly maintaining that she had nothing to do with creating the faces and that they were just as mysterious to her as they were to everyone else. Even after Maria's death, reports of new faces emerging continued, though less frequently. The house remains a popular site for paranormal enthusiasts and tourists who visit hoping to catch a glimpse of the eerie faces on the floor. Number 42. Circleville Letters. In the quiet town of Circleville, Ohio, an anonymous letter writer turned the lives of its residents upside down in a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Beginning in 1976, people in Circleville started receiving threatening letters that exposed secrets and accused individuals of various misdeeds. The letters were detailed, personal, and often contained disturbing threats. The letters targeted several residents, but one of the main recipients was Mary Gillespie, a local school bus driver. The anonymous writer accused her of having an affair with the school superintendent, Gordon Massey. Despite Mary's denial, the letters continued, becoming more menacing and involving other members of her family. In 1977, Mary's husband, Ron Gillespie, received a phone call that seemed to confirm the writer's accusations. He left the house in a rage, intending to confront the letter writer. Shortly after, he was found dead in his car, which had crashed into a tree. Although his death was ruled an accident, some believed he was murdered, especially since a gun had been fired once at the scene. The mysterious letters continued even after Ron's death, terrorizing the community with threats and allegations. In a bizarre twist, in 1983, Mary found a booby trap rigged to fire a gun aimed at her as she was driving her bus. Fortunately, she discovered the trap before it could go off. The gun was traced back to Paul Freshour, Ron's brother-in-law. Paul was arrested and convicted of attempted murder, largely based on circumstantial evidence and handwriting analysis, linking him to the letters. Paul maintained his innocence, claiming he had been framed. Despite his imprisonment, the letters did not stop. Even while Paul was in solitary confinement, letters continued to be sent, leading many to believe that he was not the real Circleville writer. The case became a media sensation, drawing national attention and numerous investigations. Various theories emerged, ranging from a conspiracy involving multiple writers to the idea that the letters were part of a larger plot to cover up other crimes. Despite these efforts, the true identity of the Circleville letter writer remains a mystery. Number 43. Mary Celeste. The story of Mary Celeste is one of the most famous mysteries of the sea. On December 4th, 1872, this American merchant ship was found drifting in the Atlantic Ocean with no one on board. The crew had vanished without a trace, leaving behind a perfectly seaworthy vessel. Mary Celeste had left New York City on November 7, 1872, bound for Genoa, Italy. Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife, their 2-year-old daughter, and a crew of 7 experienced sailors were on board. They were carrying a cargo of industrial alcohol. Nearly a month later, the British ship Dei Gratia spotted the Mary Celeste drifting aimlessly. Captain David Morehouse of the Dei Gratia knew Captain Briggs and was worried. He sent a crew to board the Mary Celeste. What they found was baffling. The ship was in good condition, with its cargo mostly intact, and there were plenty of supplies. But the crew was gone and the lifeboat was missing. The ship's logbook showed the last entry was 10 days earlier and everything seemed normal. So why would the crew abandon a perfectly good ship? Over the years, many theories have been suggested. Some think a storm might have scared the crew off the ship, but the calm sea conditions at the time make this unlikely. Others suggest a mutiny, but there were no signs of a struggle or theft. One popular theory is that fumes from the alcohol cargo might have made the crew fear an explosion, causing them to abandon ship in a hurry. But if that were true, why didn't they return once the danger had passed? More wild ideas include sea monster attacks, alien abductions, or encounters with giant waves. These theories are fun to think about, but lack any real evidence. The Mary Celeste was eventually taken to Gibraltar, where officials investigated but couldn't solve the mystery either. The ship went back into service, but it never shook off its spooky reputation. To this day, no one knows what happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste. The story of this ghost ship continues to captivate people, making it one of the sea's greatest unsolved mysteries. Number 44. Paracas Candelabra. On the arid cliffs of the Paracas Peninsula in Peru, an enormous geoglyph known as the Paracas Candelabra stretches across the landscape. This mysterious ancient design, etched into the hillside, has puzzled and fascinated people for centuries. The Paracas Candelabra is a massive figure, measuring about 595 feet tall and visible from as far as 12 miles out at sea. Its shape resembles a candelabra, a trident, or even a tree, with a central stem and branching arms. The geoglyph was created by carving deep grooves into the hard ground, exposing the lighter sand beneath. The dry, windless climate of the region has helped preserve this ancient drawing for thousands of years. The origins and purpose of the Paracas Candelabra are shrouded in mystery. Some theories suggest it was created by the Paracas culture, which flourished in the region around 200 BCE. The geoglyph could have served as a navigational guide for sailors, a religious symbol, or even a marker for an astronomical event. However, no definitive evidence has been found to confirm any of these theories. The design of the Paracas Candelabra has led to various interpretations. Some believe it represents a trident, a symbol associated with the Inca god Viracocha, who was believed to have created the world. Others think it might be a representation of a hallucinogenic plant used in ancient rituals. The true meaning of the geoglyph remains unknown, adding to its allure and mystique. The Paracas Candelabra is often compared to the more famous Nazca lines, a series of large geoglyphs located further south in Peru. Like the Nazca Lines, the Paracas candelabra can only be fully appreciated from the air or from the sea, suggesting it was designed to be seen by those traveling at a distance. Number 45, Bermuda Triangle. Now get ready for some secrets and unexplained disappearances. The Bermuda Triangle. Stretching between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, this area has swallowed ships and aircraft without a trace, earning its eerie reputation. The story of the Bermuda Triangle truly took off in 1945 with the mysterious disappearance of Flight 19. 5 US Navy bombers embarked on a routine training mission only to vanish into thin air. Communication with the planes became erratic. The pilots sounded disoriented and then silence. A rescue plane sent to find them also disappeared. The Navy was left with nothing but questions and a chilling sense of dread. As tales of the Bermuda Triangle spread, the area became infamous for other disappearances. Ships like the SS Marine Sulphur Queen and planes like a DC-3 passenger aircraft vanished, leaving no clues behind. The sea and sky seemed to conspire together, swallowing vessels whole. Theories about the Bermuda Triangle abound, each more intriguing than the last. Some speak of sudden, violent storms that can appear out of nowhere, engulfing ships and planes in deadly fury. Others tell of strange magnetic fields that cause navigation instruments to go haywire, leading vessels off course and into disaster. Number 46. Spontaneous human combustion. Among the strangest and most unsettling mysteries in the annals of the unexplained is spontaneous human combustion, SHC. This phenomenon involves people allegedly bursting into flames without any apparent external source of ignition, leaving behind little more than ashes, charred remains, and a sense of profound bewilderment. One of the most famous cases of SHC occurred in 1951 in St. Petersburg, Florida. Mary Reeser, a 67-year-old widow, was found by her landlord reduced to a pile of ash in her easy chair, with only her shrunken skull, part of her spine, and a completely intact foot remaining. The room around her was largely undamaged by fire, save for a few plastic items softened by the heat. The case baffled investigators. Fire experts concluded that temperatures must have reached over 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit to cause such complete incineration, far beyond what a typical house fire could produce. Yet, there was no evidence of a source for such intense heat, nor any significant damage to the surrounding furniture. Over the centuries, numerous other instances of SHC have been reported, each more perplexing than the last. Witnesses describe people suddenly engulfed in flames, often burning from within, while their surroundings remain untouched. Theories abound, but none have been definitively proven. Some scientists suggest that a rare chemical reaction within the human body might cause SHC. This theory involves acetone, a highly flammable substance that can build up in the body due to alcoholism, ketosis, or certain illnesses. According to this hypothesis, a small external spark could ignite these internal gases, leading to a devastating fire. Another theory is the wick effect. This idea posits that a person's clothing could act like the wick of a candle, with the body's fat providing the fuel. In this scenario, an external source such as a dropped cigarette might ignite the clothing, causing the body to burn slowly and intensely. Skeptics argue that all known cases of SHC can be explained by undetected external ignition sources, such as cigarettes or embers, combined with the wick effect. They contend that the mystery of SHC lies not in the phenomenon itself, but in the conditions and circumstances that allow such fires to go unnoticed until it is too late. Number 47. Flannan Isles. The Flannan Isles are home to the Island Moore Lighthouse, a vital beacon for ships navigating the perilous waters of the North Atlantic. The lighthouse was manned by 3 experienced keepers, James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur. On December 15, 1900, the lighthouse stopped sending its signal, prompting concern on the mainland. A relief vessel, the Hesperus, was dispatched to investigate. When the crew arrived on December 26, they found the lighthouse eerily silent. The door was locked, and inside, the clocks had stopped, the beds were unmade, and a meal was left uneaten on the table. The keepers had vanished without a trace. The official logbook provided some clues. The entries described severe storms, but local weather reports indicated calm conditions at the time. The final entry, dated December 15th, mentioned that the storm had passed and all was calm. So, what happened to the keepers? Several theories have been proposed. One suggests that a giant wave swept the men into the sea as they tried to secure equipment during the storm. This theory is supported by evidence of damage near the lighthouse and gear scattered around. However, this does not explain the conflicting weather reports. Another theory involves foul play. Some speculate that a violent altercation among the keepers led to their demise, with one or more bodies disposed of in the sea. Yet, there is no concrete evidence to support this idea. The most mysterious theory suggests something supernatural. The Flannan Isles have long been associated with folklore and legends. Stories of ghostly apparitions, sea monsters, and otherworldly forces add an eerie dimension to the tale. Could the keepers have encountered something beyond our understanding? Number 48. Bitcoin founder. It's time to get into the most captivating tales in the world of modern finance and technology. Bitcoin, the pioneering cryptocurrency, was created by an enigmatic figure known only by the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. Despite Bitcoin's immense impact, the true identity of Satoshi Nakamoto remains one of the greatest mysteries of our time. In October 2008, a paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, was published by Satoshi Nakamoto. The paper detailed a revolutionary concept, a decentralized digital currency that could operate without a central authority. This idea laid the groundwork for Bitcoin and the blockchain technology that powers it. In January 2009, Nakamoto released the first Bitcoin software and mined the first block, known as the Genesis block. Over the next few years, Nakamoto continued to refine the software and corresponded with other developers and users via email and online forums. These communications were always highly technical, focusing on the development and potential of Bitcoin. By 2011, Nakamoto had gradually withdrawn from public involvement, handing over the reins to other members of the Bitcoin community. In one of his last known emails, Nakamoto stated that he had moved on to other things. Since then, there has been no verified communication from Nakamoto, and his identity has remained a closely guarded secret. Numerous theories and investigations have sought to uncover who Satoshi Nakamoto really is. Some believe he is a single genius developer, while others speculate that Nakamoto could be a group of people. Various individuals have been proposed as potential candidates, including computer scientists, cryptographers, and even high-profile entrepreneurs. Yet, none of these claims have been definitively proven. One theory suggests that Hal Finney, a noted cryptographer and one of the first people to work on Bitcoin, could be Nakamoto. Finney had a close connection with Nakamoto and was the recipient of the first Bitcoin transaction. Another name often mentioned is Nick Szabo, a computer scientist known for his work on digital currencies before Bitcoin. Despite the circumstantial evidence, Szabo has consistently denied being Nakamoto. There are also theories that Nakamoto could be British due to the use of British English in his writings, or that he might be a secretive government entity. Some even speculate that Nakamoto's true identity may never be revealed and that perhaps it is better this way, allowing Bitcoin to stand on its own merits. Number 49. Cleopatra's grave. Cleopatra VII, the last queen of ancient Egypt, is one of history's most famous and enigmatic figures. Her reign was marked by political intrigue, passionate love affairs, and a dramatic death. Despite her prominence, the final resting place of Cleopatra and her lover, Mark Antony, remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. After their defeat by Octavian, later Augustus, at the Battle of Actium in 31 BC, Cleopatra and Antony retreated to Alexandria. Facing inevitable capture, Antony fell on his sword, and Cleopatra, according to legend, ended her life with the bite of an asp. Octavian allowed them to be buried together, honoring their final wish to rest side by side. Yet, despite ancient accounts describing their burial, the location of their tomb has never been found. For centuries, historians and archaeologists have searched for Cleopatra's tomb, believing it to be hidden somewhere in Alexandria, the heart of her kingdom. Alexandria, however, poses significant challenges to archaeologists. Much of the ancient city lies submerged beneath the Mediterranean Sea due to earthquakes and rising sea levels over the millennia. In recent years, some archaeologists have focused their efforts on Taposiris Magna, an ancient temple complex located about 30 miles west of Alexandria. Dr. Kathleen Martinez, a prominent archaeologist, believes this site holds the key to Cleopatra's final resting place. Excavations have revealed a wealth of artifacts, including coins bearing Cleopatra's image and statues from her era, suggesting the site was of great significance during her reign. Despite these promising finds, Cleopatra's tomb has yet to be discovered. Theories abound about its possible location. Some suggest it lies beneath modern Alexandria, buried under layers of urban development. others speculate it could be hidden within one of the many unexplored underwater ruins off the coast. Cleopatra's life was a blend of romance, power, and tragedy, and her death only added to her legend. Number 50. Yonaguni Monument. There is a mysterious underwater structure known as the Yonaguni Monument in the waters off Yonaguni, a small island in Japan. Discovered in 1986 by a diver, this massive formation has intrigued scientists and explorers ever since. The Yonaguni Monument looks like a giant stone pyramid with flat terraces, steps, and sharp angles. It's huge, measuring about 490 feet long, 130 feet wide, and 90 feet high. The precise shapes and edges have led some people to believe it might be a man-made structure, possibly from an ancient lost civilization. Marine geologist Masaki Kimura is one of the biggest supporters of the idea that the monument was built by humans. He thinks the formation shows signs of ancient construction, like carvings and pathways. Kimura has even identified what he believes are pillars and walls, suggesting it might have been a grand ancient city. However, not everyone agrees. Some scientists believe the Yonaguni Monument is a natural formation created by tectonic activity and erosion. They argue that the ocean currents could have shaped the sandstone into its current form, making it look like it was carved by human hands. The debate over the Yonaguni Monument raises big questions about human history. If it's man-made, it could mean there was an advanced civilization in the area thousands of years ago, much earlier than previously thought. This has led to wild theories, including links to the legendary lost continent of Mu or Lemuria.